Ladies and gentlemen, it is said that relationships are the soil in which our lives grow. When the soil is rich, full of nutrients and free of weeds, life flourishes. But when the soil is tainted, when it is poisoned by deception, manipulation and corruption, what could have blossomed into something beautiful withers before its time. Today, I want to speak to the dangers of ignoring the warning signs of a destructive partner, particularly one who embodies the traits of an evil woman. The notion of an evil woman is not a condemnation of femininity. Rather, it is a caution against the misuse of influence, power, and character. Women are designed to be life givers, nurturers, and creators of harmony, but when this potential is twisted, it can cause immense harm. To recognize the warning signs is not to judge, but to protect your path and your purpose. There is no greater betrayal in a relationship than manipulation masquerading as love. Manipulation is a silent thief. It takes without asking, demands without giving, and leaves destruction in its wake. When a woman possesses a heart that manipulates, her intentions are not rooted in love, trust, or partnership. Instead, they are entangled in control, deceit, and self-interest. A manipulative heart often disguises itself in kindness, charm, or even vulnerability, but behind the veil lies a calculated effort to influence and dominate. This type of heart thrives on power but avoids responsibility. It seeks to bend others to its will, using subtle tactics that are hard to detect until the damage is done. Words are twisted to create guilt, silence questions, and shift blame. Small gestures of affection are carefully measured, given to reward compliance or withhold as a means of punishment. A woman with a manipulative heart often preys on insecurities. She identifies areas where you feel uncertain or inadequate, not to help you overcome them, but to use them as leverage. She may use flattery to disarm you, making you feel seen and valued, but only to ensure you remain under her influence. Manipulation is not about building, it is about controlling. It reduces relationships to transactions where love and trust are bartered for power and gain. But let us not mistake manipulation for strength. True strength uplifts while manipulation undermines. A strong woman will guide with wisdom inspired through encouragement and challenge you with truth even when it's difficult. A manipulative woman, on the other hand, will erode your confidence to make herself appear indispensable. She will manufacture crises to keep you dependent, creating a cycle of chaos that centers her needs above all else. To recognize this behavior requires courage and clarity. It demands that you look beyond the surface and question what lies beneath. Is the affection you receive genuine, or does it come with strings attached? Are her actions aligned with her words, or do they betray a hidden agenda? Manipulation thrives in shadow, so it is your responsibility to bring it into the light. This is not a call to distrust, but to discern. Relationships are meant to be partnerships of equals, built on mutual respect and shared purpose. A heart that manipulates cannot create such a bond, for its foundation is control, not collaboration. Recognizing manipulation is not an act of judgment, it is an act of preservation. It is choosing to protect your heart, your purpose, and your future from being derailed by someone who seeks to exploit rather than empower. Ladies and gentlemen, love is never a tool for control. It is a force that liberates, heals, and transforms. Anything less is not love, it is manipulation wearing its mask. And once you see the mask for what it is, you must have the strength to walk away, choosing the freedom and dignity that only true love can offer. There is an ancient truth that states where there is unity, there is strength. Unity is the foundation upon which great things are built: families, communities, organizations, and even nations. Unity provides the strength to overcome challenges, to create, and to evolve. It is the bond that holds us together that gives us the power to grow and progress in harmony. But what happens when that unity is threatened? When the very fabric of togetherness begins to unravel. This is where the spirit of division comes in, and it is a force that must be recognized and resisted. A woman who possesses a spirit of division does not seek to build, she seeks to break. She moves through relationships like a storm, sowing seeds of discord wherever she goes. Her words are sharp, her actions calculated, always designed to create distance between those who should stand together. Whether through subtle manipulation, sharp criticism, or stirring up misunderstandings, she is never content with peace. She thrives in chaos and confusion and conflict. This spirit does not announce itself boldly. No, it is far more insidious. It creeps into conversations, twists perceptions, and turns allies into enemies. One moment, everything may seem calm, but the next you find yourself questioning those you trust, feeling isolated from those you love. You may find that your relationships with family, friends, and colleagues are suddenly strained, and you cannot quite put your finger on why. The reason is simple: division has entered the atmosphere. And it wears the mask of a seemingly innocent suggestion, a half-truth, or an offhand remark that stirs doubt in your heart. Such a woman is adept at creating an us versus them mentality, constantly pitting people against one another. She does not build bridges, she builds walls. She will encourage jealousy, competition, and mistrust among people who would otherwise be united in purpose. She may feign concern for your well-being while subtly steering you away from those who could offer real support, making you believe that you are alone in your struggles, that no one understands you as she does. A spirit of division thrives in an environment where it can manipulate emotions and undermine trust. It seeks to create rifts where there were none, to break what was once whole. It exploits the vulnerabilities of the heart, playing on insecurities and fears, leading you to believe that your strength lies in isolation rather than in unity. Recognize this spirit not just in the words spoken, but in the actions taken. Does she celebrate the success of others, or does she quietly undermine their achievements? Does she support healthy relationships, or does she find ways to put wedges between you and those who genuinely care? The spirit of division seeks to keep you distracted from your purpose, to pull you away from your mission, and to keep you divided in the areas of your life that matter most. Be aware, for division does not just affect relationships, it affects your peace, your focus, and your future. When we are divided, we become weak, scattered, and vulnerable to the forces that seek to derail us. And so it is crucial that you stand guard against this spirit, not just for the sake of your relationships, but for the sake of your own destiny. A divided house cannot stand, it will crumble under its own weight. But a house united in purpose, in love, and in truth is unshakable. And that is the kind of strength you were meant to build, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Integrity is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, for without it, everything else collapses. It is the very essence of who we are when no one is watching, when no one can hold us accountable but our own conscience. Integrity speaks to the truth in our hearts and the authenticity in our actions. When integrity is absent, nothing can stand on solid ground. Now, let me tell you, the lack of integrity is a dangerous force in any relationship, and in particular when it is present in a woman. A woman without integrity is like a ship without a rudder, drifting, lost and vulnerable to the storms of life. She may appear fine on the surface, charming even, but beneath the surface there is dishonesty, deception, and a disregard for the truth. A woman who lacks integrity will live in the shadows of half-truths and lies. Her words may seem convincing, even heartfelt, but you will soon find that her actions betray her. She is quick to hide, to cover up, and to avoid responsibility. Her promises are empty and her commitments are conditional based on what she can gain or control at the moment. Integrity cannot be faked for long. It shows in every small action, every decision, every choice, whether big or small. One of the most insidious ways a woman without integrity operates is through manipulation. She will twist the truth to suit her needs, pulling at your emotions and exploiting your vulnerabilities. She will say what you want to hear, just enough to keep you in her grasp, but behind the words lies a hidden agenda. You will find yourself questioning your own judgment because her deceit makes you doubt what is real and what is false. The absence of integrity goes deeper than just words and actions. It is a reflection of the soul. A person without integrity is disconnected from their own truth. They live in a world of pretenses, wearing masks to hide their true self. This is a dangerous place to be, because when a person is disconnected from their own core, they become unpredictable, unreliable, and ultimately destructive. Their lack of honesty with themselves bleeds into every area of their life, and soon everyone around them is affected. Integrity is not just about honesty in the big things, it is also about consistency in the small things. It is about honoring your commitments even when it is inconvenient, even when there is no one to witness your actions. A woman without integrity will break promises, shift the blame, and avoid accountability. She will take advantage of situations for her own benefit without regard for the consequences to others. And when you are in a relationship with someone like this, you will find yourself constantly picking up the pieces, trying to repair the damage caused by her actions. A woman who lacks integrity is someone who cannot be trusted. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, and once it is broken, it is difficult, if not impossible, to rebuild. Without integrity, there is no foundation to build a future upon. There is no sense of security, no sense of reliability, no sense of peace. Every interaction becomes uncertain because you cannot depend on the truth of her words or the consistency of her actions. So, ladies and gentlemen, we must be discerning. When you encounter a woman who lacks integrity, do not ignore the signs. Do not let the charm or the promises deceive you. Pay attention to her character, to the consistency between her words and actions. For the truth always reveals itself, whether we want to see it or not. It is better to face the truth now than to be deceived by the illusion of what could be. And remember, a woman who possesses integrity will uplift you, inspire you, and walk beside you in honesty, always. That is the kind of partnership you deserve. In any relationship, one of the greatest qualities we must nurture is mutual respect. This respect is the foundation upon which all trust, love, and understanding are built. However, when one party seeks to dominate, manipulate, and control, that respect is quickly eroded. A lust for power and control is one of the most dangerous and insidious traits to watch for, particularly in a woman who uses her influence not to lift others, but to subdue and bend them to her will. Now understand this, we are all created with the capacity for influence. Influence is a powerful tool, and it can be wielded for good or evil. In a healthy relationship, influence is shared, it is balanced, and it is used to empower both individuals, propelling them toward mutual growth and success. But when the desire for control becomes the driving force in a woman's heart, that influence is no longer a gift, it becomes a weapon. A woman who is driven by the lust for power seeks to establish herself as the authority, not through merit, not through wisdom, but through manipulation and coercion. She will use charm and subtlety to control, and behind her sweetness lies the cold intention of domination. She may make you feel indebted to her, constantly convincing you that your success, your happiness, or even your very existence depends on her approval. This is not love, this is control. She may begin by appealing to your desires, making you feel like the center of her world. In the beginning, it feels intoxicating. It feels like love, affection, and attention. But as the days pass, something shifts. What seemed like care begins to feel more like ownership. She may make you question your decisions, your thoughts, your identity. Over time, her influence grows, and what once was your free will becomes the echo of her desires. You find yourself living less for your own purpose and more for her expectations. The desire for power in a woman is dangerous because it often masquerades as care. She will claim that she knows what is best for you, even when her decisions serve only to benefit her. You might find yourself making sacrifices for her happiness, while your own dreams and aspirations slowly fade into the background. She may tell you that her way is the only way, and every time you step out of line, she reminds you of the price you must pay for straying from her path. This is manipulation, not love. True partnership is about equality, balance, and mutual support, not control. The lust for control in a woman can be so subtle that it is difficult to see at first. She may use guilt, fear, or shame to keep you in line, reminding you of all the things you owe her or how much she has done for you. Over time, the relationship becomes a series of compromises where your needs are secondary to hers. Your freedom becomes restricted, not through force, but through the quiet pressure of expectation. When you are in the presence of someone who seeks control, you begin to feel small. Your confidence is chipped away slowly, bit by bit. Every decision you make, every move you take is measured against her approval. And the more you give into this control, the more you lose sight of who you are and what you stand for. In the name of love, you may begin to shrink into someone you never intended to become, someone who lives for the validation of another, forgetting that your value was never meant to be defined by anyone else. A woman driven by a lust for power and control does not build, she diminishes. She does not uplift, she constricts. In the end, such a relationship leaves you feeling empty, confused, and without direction. Love, true love, it's not about control, it's about growth, freedom, and partnership. It's about two individuals who are not afraid to be themselves, who empower each other to reach higher, to grow deeper, and to become more than they ever could have alone. Beware of the signs of control. Recognize when the intentions are no longer pure, when the love is tainted by power plays and manipulation. And remember, you were never meant to live as a prisoner of someone else's desire for domination. You were created to walk in purpose, to soar in freedom, and to love without chains. Let no one man or woman take that away from you. Purpose is the foundation upon which a successful, fulfilling life is built. It is the driving force, the compass that directs every action, every decision, and every relationship. When purpose is absent or neglected, there is a void, a lack of direction that leaves individuals wandering aimlessly, drifting from one moment to the next. This is one of the most dangerous traits to watch for in any person, but especially in a woman who lacks vision, clarity, and a sense of destiny. A woman who neglects her purpose does not just live without direction, she brings a sense of stagnation wherever she goes. Her lack of vision will weigh down those around her, pulling them into a space of uncertainty and confusion. She may speak of dreams and desires, but her actions will reflect the opposite. There is no consistent pursuit, no intentional steps taken to build a future. Instead, there is a pattern of short-term satisfaction, distractions, and an unwillingness to invest in the long-term success of herself or anyone else. This kind of neglect isn't simply about lacking ambition or vision for the future. It is far deeper. It's about a refusal to grow, a resistance to engage in the hard work required to evolve. A woman who neglects her purpose will rarely challenge herself to become more. She will avoid opportunities for learning, for deepening her character, and for facing the hard truths that come with personal growth. Instead, she will settle into a life of comfort and convenience, seeking immediate pleasures instead of long-term fulfillment. This lack of purpose is infectious. It can drain the energy of those around her, especially those who are striving to reach their full potential. A relationship with someone who has no clear sense of direction will eventually begin to feel like an anchor weighing down your progress. While you may be pushing forward towards your own goals, you will find yourself constantly having to compensate for her lack of direction, her inability to engage meaningfully with life. Purpose brings focus, strength, and resilience. A woman with a clear understanding of who she is, where she's going, and the legacy she hopes to leave behind will always inspire those around her to do the same. She will be a force that drives growth, not just for herself, but for everyone she touches. But a woman who neglects her purpose is like a ship adrift at sea, with no captain to steer the way. Without a course to follow, she will wander through life content with superficial distractions, never reaching her full potential and, tragically, never encouraging those around her to reach theirs. The neglect of purpose is not just a minor flaw, it is a deep and dangerous issue that threatens the essence of growth and progress. It robs not only the individual who lacks direction, but also the people who are meant to walk alongside her. When purpose is neglected, the relationship becomes a space of stagnation rather than creation. It becomes an environment where energy is wasted on trying to lift someone who refuses to climb, where love is offered to someone who is not willing to reciprocate that love with action and intentionality. A woman who is in tune with her purpose will never let distractions take her off course. She will make decisions with clarity, and her actions will align with the values she holds dear. She will see every setback not as an obstacle, but as a lesson, every failure as a stepping stone to greater wisdom. Her purpose will keep her rooted and resilient, even in the toughest storms. But when purpose is neglected, she becomes a leaf in the wind at the mercy of every passing breeze, carried wherever the current leads. And those who are caught in her orbit will inevitably feel the loss of their own direction as well. Purpose is the greatest gift one can give to themselves and to those they love. It is the reason for waking up in the morning with passion and drive. It is the force that compels you to keep going when life gets difficult, and the inspiration that drives you to build something greater than yourself. When a woman neglects her purpose, she is not just robbing herself of a fulfilling life, she is stealing from the very essence of the relationship she is in, as well as from the potential of those who choose to invest their time, love, and energy into her. So let us never underestimate the power of a woman who knows her purpose, who walks in it every day, and who challenges those around her to do the same. But let us also be aware of the peril of partnering with one who chooses to neglect it. For where there is no purpose, there is no life, just an endless cycle of empty days and broken promises. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of this reflection, remember that purpose is not a luxury, it is the very essence of life itself. A woman who knows her purpose will inspire growth, unity, and strength in every relationship she enters. She will be a beacon of light, a source of wisdom, and a partner who builds not just for today, but for tomorrow. But when purpose is neglected, not only does the individual falter, but those connected to her are also pulled into a cycle of stagnation and lost potential. Choose carefully the relationships you invest in, for purpose is the seed that will either produce a flourishing future or leave a barren field. Do not settle for anything less than a partnership that is rooted in shared vision, intentionality, and mutual growth. Let your life be a testament to the power of purpose, and may you always walk alongside those who are committed to the same. Thank you.